Good morning, good people, and welcome back to another edition of Sharp Solutions. Carpet and upholstery cleaning, supply, install and repair. Okie dokie. So then guys, this is what we got. It is a commercial premises. It's quite large and this is literally one wing of it. So I'll just go around and show you what we've got to do. Obviously nothing's been done yet. So we've got a vac and then we're gonna obviously lay the solution down, which is an encapsulation product, a new one to the market. It is Kraken by Njord, and that is with Upholstery. So we'll be seeing what magic it does today. All right then, so it's all office spaces. So obviously, this is actually carpet, it's not carpet tiles in this area. And this office here, I mean, this complex is huge, and like I say, this is just one wing of it. All being well, and Kraken does the job today because it is quite heavily soiled. It's quite hard to see it under this lighting, but as soon as them blinds are open, you will see it. Okie dokie. So, all down that corridor there to that canteen. And then we've got, this office ain't so bad at all, to be fair. Very low soiling in that area. The rest of this corridor. Okay, so here's the Kraken. This is the new magic formula. So I've heard really good results about it. So we'll be cracking on with Kraken. It says 15 mil per litre. 15 mil per litre. Now that is absolutely amazing. Although it says mix Kraken 50 ml per litre of warm water, 1 syringe. Okay, right then, so I have spoke to Upholstery of Njord, and he said at 50 ml per litre is its maximum strength, and that is for seriously heavy soiling. So for an encapsulation, he says you know, you're going to get absolutely amazing results with that. He said mix it 15 mil per litre and just see how it handles the soiling. So it has got its work cut out today. Guys, I've just vacked this area and I'm just going to take you back through because the difference a vacuum can make is unreal. You know, a good vacuum where you go over nice and slowly. I mean, these carpets in here are really good contract carpets, really hard wearing, obviously built, designed, constructed for this kind of environment, office carpets. You normally get them in the higher people up in the company that have these kind of style carpets. It's polyester. I've had a look because normally you do get a lot of wool as well, but this is polyester, and that's going to come up absolutely beautiful with an encapsulation solution. I am pad capping because I've said it before, I do find pad capping the best method of encapsulation cleaning. I still agitate with either CRB or an agitation pad, and today I'm going to be using an agitation pad because on carpet tiles I find that an agitation pad doing a circular motion, you know, as well as digging, it releases that soiling better, it suspends the soiling better. This office here we've got, which is not in bad condition at all, you know, that's not going to take a lot. This is where it starts to get messy. You can see a really dominant kind of soil traffic lane here. you know, they've had some work done basically. This is a large complex, like I said, and this is just one wing. So we have secured the whole building for carpet cleaning. It's just had a lot of traffic through these kind of ways. That's not too bad at all. Going through into this other office is not too bad. The biggest office on this side gets quite bad there, so obviously when you get to offices as well, it all depends what kind of a business it is. You know, some are engineering, some are kind of food industry, and a lot of them are attached to kind of their operation centre. So, you know, whatever they're making, the offices a lot of the time are attached to that building, whether it's upstairs or, you know, it's a separate building, but they're going in and out of where they're making the actual product, and that is then carried back into the offices. This is the new office here, by the way. You can see the door's not on yet, but they've just gone straight on top of the carpet tiles with this dividing wall. As you can see, we've got that down there, which is very unfamiliar soiling kind of lines. You don't really get that up against like a skirting. So this walkway here, incredibly bad. I mean, the customer did say, how good will it come up? And I said, it's gonna come up very, very nice. Although managing the customer's expectations, I said, don't expect that's never been trod on, because the fibres have never been trod on. And obviously trying to get a walkway that has been used heavily to something that hasn't been walked on at all is virtually impossible. Now, I could have came in with hot water extraction or rinse extraction with this particular job, but the more I've kind of dived in to encapsulation cleaning or bonnet style cleaning, end capping, pad capping, whatever you want to call it, whatever works best for you, what we're talking about is we haven't got to use a rinse solution to drop the pH and remove any residue, because obviously encapsulation fluids, they crystallize. So that's why I really do love them. This has got to have a good vac out. Like I say, I've vac the other side. Yeah, the reason I have really kind of moved my business forward with a lot of low moisture encapsulation and everything else is because it works, guys. You know, I don't know, going back 15, 20 years ago, you would have probably used more solutions with a lower pH, but would still need rinsing. Encapsulation's come a long way. The products, the way they're made and everything has come a long way. I think, you know, when it was invented of encapsulation, it changed the industry massively. And the only guys to kind of get on board with it these days, I think, is those steam cleaning guys, you know, truck mounted, that kind of thing. And sometimes, you know, it's just nice not to pull hoses and, you know, have that thing where the motor's running, whether it be a portable or a truck mount. The filling, okay, you haven't got the filling on the TMs, but you've got that fuel running on the TMs, and it's kind of a in and out is what you think, and it puts more pressure on you, I'd say. I mean, I've worked very closely with a guy that's been in the industry a long time. I think I've said it before. He's got Prochem Everest. I had it about, what, must be over 10 years now. And even he says, you know, when you're running on fuel and you're the one putting it in, you work faster because you want to get it done quicker. You obviously price correctly and everything, but you want less hours on the machinery, and you obviously want less overhead costs for that, you know. And it's the same thing with a portable. You're running your vacs and everything else, and you fill in with those and everything else. So I think it becomes a more kind of pressurized clean, you know. I don't know, that's what I feel. So where I can get away with encapsulation cleaning, I'm absolutely going to do it, because it's just everything I've just said, the opposite of. It's so nice to put your earphones in, you know, listen to your music or your podcast or whatever it is while you're working. You know, you've got a very small area of machinery to use. It's all about mastering it, you know, getting the best pads, getting the best scrub pads, using a good rotary or orbital machine, and learning, you know, seeing what works best, just like HWE, rinse extraction. Even with that, you can give someone the best machinery, you know, and the best solutions, but knowledge of a technician is key. You know, the steps that you take to suspend that soiling, that's what's come with practicing, you know, and information gained and training and everything else. So the technician is very much in control, guys. I'm just going to go ahead and vac this out now. We'll do a little bit of footage on that, and then we'll be spraying down the solution. So stick with it, guys. Now, obviously, guys, areas like this, I'm going to be interested just to see what happens. It's obviously had a leak, this pipe has here, and normally if that was rust, you would use a rust remover. But that looks like lime scale almost. It's got that whiteness to it, so I don't think that I'll need to get out any rust remover. I'm actually looking forward to seeing what this solution does with that. Another thing to think about, guys, if you get any commercial work, is when you're cleaning them, have a look around, because sometimes carpet cleaners have like side businesses as well, where they will do office cleaning. They will put someone in there, you know, kind of standard cleaner that will do toilets and office areas and that kind of thing, and you can pick up contracts that way. It's something that I'm personally not interested in, but I do know the difference when I'm cleaning, that if they've got a cleaner or not, and I can 100% say that this particular building, I've got no evening or morning cleaners, you know, no one coming in and vacuuming and things like that, just by the level of debris around and things, you know. If there was cleaners involved, that would obviously, it would be cleaner. And obviously traffic lanes wouldn't build up as much as well, because it would be having regular vacuuming nightly, and that's a massive thing for obviously life expectancy of any kind of carpet. It doesn't matter what it's made out of or the construction. So, you know, if you're one of these businesses that does carpet cleaning and upholstery cleaning and all that kind of stuff, but also you like a little bread and butter, let's say, a little bit of contract work on the side where you know what's coming in, you can put someone into that position, this is prime for that. You know, this kind of building, offices like this where it's not being done, it's absolutely a fantastic plug-in system to go ahead once you're finished and say, I did notice that you had quite a build-up of dust in the carpets, more than usual. So politely ask, you know, have you got cleaners put in place? Because we can do a couple of hours a night or whatever it is. And whether it's someone in your family that does a bit of cleaning, or you know someone, or it's just about putting a little advertisement out there for a trained cleaner, years experience, that kind of thing, to obviously work a vacuum, polish, you know, with the things that you'll be supplying at the price and everything else, and see if that works for you. It is a really good way to find out if it could be work for you. All right, just thought I'd try and help you out there. So I'll show you right now what I'm on about, and how, you know, a good vacuum with slow forwards and backwards and left and right, north, south, east, west movements on the vacuum will pick up as much soiling as possible. I mean, the level of soiling in these carpets that are going to be removed through dry extraction, meaning vacuuming, is unreal. So I'll just turn the vac on now, guys, and we'll have a little look, and you should see a difference as I'm going. See that brightness? I'll go forward and then back. You see that brightness? On the other side, that is with a vacuum alone. That is professional dry soil extraction. That's why this particular company needs someone on board on a daily basis to come and vacuum these carpets, because part of this soiling can be kept at bay. Take it to that tile. Run back over it again. You know, really try to lift as much dry soiling as possible here, because when it comes time to pad packing, I don't want the pads to be absolutely wringing the soil. The pads that I use, there we go guys, that's just a vacuum. So yeah, I don't want my pads to be absolutely dripping in dry soiling, because that's the importance, you know. I think it's got lost along the way with whatever it is, truck mounts or portables. Guys coming in and just spraying the solution down and extracting and saying when you've got high-end portable or, you know, a truck mount, you don't really need to go in and vacuum. And yeah, to a point, you know, I've been in the industry a long time and they're absolutely right, because they're lifting it all at the same time, but they are making it more difficult for themselves as well. Because like some people say, when it comes to soiling and your end capping, you know, pad capping, whatever it is there, you just muck spreading. Yeah, you're going to be muck spreading if you haven't obviously released the dry soiling with a vacuum. Then you're left with the stuck on soiling that the solution is going to suspend, and then you're going to use your pads to take it out. So it makes no difference whether you're using rinse extraction or you're using a pad cap method. You're still going to lift that soiling, but you want less going into the pads. So the pads that I use are Ironman pads. You know, the life expectancy is very, very good. I think these particular ones I've had now for probably a year. I brought a good handful. Before that, I've used all sorts of pads, but these are the best pads that I've ever used. You just take them home afterwards, and whether you've got your own separate utility with washing machine that you only do your kind of pads in and things like that, fantastic that is as well, because remember that you will be putting solutions through your washing machines that you don't normally, so it can affect the pumps on your washing machines. I've got an outhouse and I've got a separate washing machine that literally I just go out, chuck all my pads in, mainly because the missus did not want it anymore. So yeah, I had to go out and get another washing machine. I just brought a second-hand washing machine that does everything that you need it to do basically, and that's how I take care of all the pads. Right, I better carry on vacuuming. Another thing that people have asked me, yes, these videos do take quite a while to do and edit. So, you know, when you're not getting paid for something and you're giving back information and everything else, I do it because I like to do it. I like to share my knowledge. One day, hopefully, you know, the little pittance that it will pay for, hopefully I do get something back from it. And that is obviously investment in time and everything else. But mainly I started out to, you know, show what I can do, and although it's not to everyone's taste, hopefully I've helped some people out, and I've had a lot of messages over the last year or so since I've been making these videos for social media, and I'm very happy that people have messaged me and said that they're really enjoying the footage and everything, because although sometimes maybe it's something that they won't use, but they just like to see it because they're in the industry. A lot of the time though, yes, you know, I've had people that have been in the industry for years on our one-way set minded, you know. I've had a lot of people that use truck mounts, and I've said, you know, since watching your videos on pad capping and encapsulation cleaning, it has really changed my mind, and they've asked me all sorts of questions. And although I'm not saying that I'm a specialist trained kind of guy doing low moisture cleaning. What the style that I do and how I do it works for me. And obviously this is coming across in videos, and that's why people are saying, obviously, you've got a good method and it's working, and I'd like to start doing it myself to see if it works for me. And when it does, they message me back and they say, wow, you know, fantastic results. I am definitely going to start trying to move low moisture cleaning into the business more and more, you know. All right, let's get on. Right then guys, the mix is all made up and it is ready to go. Now, Ollie said that it didn't have a fragrance to it, but it really has. It's got like a really nice kind of citrusy lavender kind of fragrance to it. It is really nice, it smells really nice. Now then, I've just finished obviously deep vacuuming. It did take around an hour and a half. I got here at about 8 o'clock this morning, and after obviously unloading and moving things like bins and things like that up onto the tables, we're now looking at 10:30. So it's taken around an hour and a half to vac. But when it comes to end capping, encapsulation, pad capping, you know, bonnet mopping, whatever you want to call it, the dry vacuuming is around, I would say, probably 30% of the job, you know, if not more. Now, I think I've done a good enough job where with the agitation pad, we're going to see instant results as soon as I've put down the solution. Well, I'm hoping so anyway, because like I said, I've never used the solution before, but normally with a good encapsulation, you do. I'll be using the zebra pad for agitation, and I'll show you how it starts coming up. So I think we're going to do a section at a time, because obviously encapsulation, you don't need to give it any dwell time, and it is a large area that we're doing. So I think I'm going to do this main office starting from the back, which is the most soilist, and that side corridor there, get this lot done, and then work my way to the other side. Okay guys, so I've just sprayed it down. It's probably been down, I don't know, about 4 minutes. So it's time for the foot rub. That's before I do any agitation, but first of all, let me turn this tap off. Okie doke. Right, the foot rub's the test before we do the agitation pad. Little bit of agitation. Oh yeah. I think we're gonna get some good results. Okay, all ready to go. Pre-spray has been put down. Now, I have had to open some windows because that deodorizer is the bomb. It is seriously strong. Now, that's probably because I have mixed it at 50 ml per litre, and Ollie said mix it at 15 ml per litre. So it's not a bad thing. It smells absolutely gorgeous, but in a confined space where the windows aren't open, it was overpowering. Now, just to let you know, this zebra pad has been dipped in the solution, this agitation pad. The reason for that is that's what I like to do. When I go over with the Iron Man pad, that pad's going to be dry, as I'm going to be drying up the encapsulated soiling. Right then, so let's get it on and let's see what happens. Oh my word, golly gosh, and all of that. Wow. At this point, seriously guys, I know I do a lot of reviews, but I am seriously impressed. Now remember, this is at 50 ml per litre. That's the directions on the back of the bottle that it comes in, but that is for worst case scenario. That's what Ollie told me. anyway. He said, obviously, you'll get great results at 15 mil per litre. And I've got to be deadly honest. Yeah, I mean, I've mixed the most soiled areas up at 50 mil per litre, but I definitely am not going to be mixing it up at 50 mil per litre for anywhere else in this building, because I'm blown away with these results. There's a couple of things it's doing for me, guys. It's got a lovely deodorizer to it, and whatever is put in here, it works. Now then, when I originally approached Ollie and said, you know, I want to try the Kraken, I asked him if there's anything I should know about the product, so that when I see it working, I can say, you know, that's down to that. But I think he was keeping things close to his chest, and I can probably now understand why. There's something in this that I don't think might not be in others. God knows what, but I've used the best of the best, and the best of the best work incredibly well. This is definitely up there, guys. We're going to see some before and after, so I'll take a couple of pictures of the worst hit areas before, and then obviously we'll take a picture afterwards. But I'm very impressed so far, very impressed. Eating it alive. It's the sort of solutions I like to use. Absolutely. There's a lot on the market that work well, and this is another one. So for anyone following the channel, or if you've just tuned in and this is the first one you've seen, the solution that I'm using today is called Kraken, which is an encapsulation solution, and it's from a new company, well, fairly new company. They've been going a few years. It's ran by a guy called Ollie Farry, who's a cleaner himself. So they do say, you do tend to know what you want from a cleaning solution if you're a cleaner, and I think he's absolutely nailed it here. The company is called Njord. So for anyone out there that does follow the channel, wants to try it out, I'll drop a link in the description box of this video. Feel free to obviously go ahead and contact them. I can vouch for this particular product. It smells great. It's been mixed at 50 ml per litre, although recommended dosage, or should I say amount, it's not like we're treating someone, is it? You'll be looking at about 15 ml per litre, so you can understand that this solution is very cost effective. There is other cost effective solutions on the market, so I am not biased. It's just one of those things where if something does work well, I'm going to be the first one to say, do you know what, I got absolutely fantastic results with that solution. So that is that. I mean, look at the difference. It's absolutely cutting through this soiling like a knife through butter, a hot knife. It's basically shaving a lot of time off this job. A lot of time, because the faster I can cut through that soiling barrier, the sooner I can get an extraction pad on there and get gone, you know. I'm not one to be in and out. I am very thorough. Like I say, when it comes to vacuuming, I spent around an hour and a half, maybe even an hour and 45, just making sure that I've got all nooks and crannies. This was the room really that they got me out for. And that's because obviously they'd had this new office put in, so they'd had some stud work done, a new wall put up, what have you, and they knew it was going to create a lot of dust. So sometimes when a customer calls you, it doesn't matter if it's commercial or domestic. It's normally because they've got a stain, they've got an odour, or they've just got really high level of soiling. You know, that's normally the case when it's a first time around customer. So it's important for any business to concentrate on the areas that's bothering the customer. You know, the first reason they gave you that call is because they wanted you to get rid of that odour, take that stain out, or lift that heavy soiling. So you take care of that, and that customer becomes a client. And what I mean by that, the difference between a customer and a client, for those that think, wow, you know, what's the difference? It's pretty obvious. That customer calls you again for maintenance cleaning. Next time the cleaning isn't so bad, you know. But I don't charge more unless it's really bad, you know. I don't have a set price. I do charge by the job, especially when it comes to commercial. Right then, so that's the agitation pad for this area done. So what I'm going to do is swap that out now for the Iron Man pad. As you can see, just with agitation alone, looks like a brand spanking new corridor, don't it? Okie dokie. We're winning today massively. Right then, let's set this up. Have a bit of Iron Man on. Okay, so that side's not been used yet, and that side just does, as you can see. Let's get it to, you can see that nice bright bit in the centre there, and all the rest of it is quite heavily soiled. So we'll just pop that down there for now. For those that don't use rotaries or never have, or an orbital or anything like that, make sure your pad's nice and flat to the floor, because otherwise what happens is when you put your drive board down, it just literally crumples up. So that's that. Now I'm going to start this one hand. It isn't easy, so don't laugh and bear with me. Okay. Right then. So now what we're doing is collecting that suspended soiling. Now when I get to the end of this corridor here, this pad is going to be heavily soiled. So what I'm going to do is get to the end, and then we'll see what it is. Do you know what, guys? Sometimes I could not be happier. Literally in a building where there's no one else, with machinery that's so easy to use, and chemistry that is absolutely banging, knowledge that I've gained over the years, just to be here today, literally chilling out and not actually minding working, you know, but thinking about, not only do I like doing what I do, but it's really good money if you know how to price it correctly and value your time and know your worth. You know, doing low moisture pad capping, bonnet mopping, it literally is so relaxing, that you can think about stuff, you know, your business, your family, your holidays, whatever it is. Your mind's off running the machine, if that makes sense. It's just a great way to clean. Like I say, I've introduced it to domestics a lot. Not because I really like it, it's one of the things, but The main reason behind it is obviously dry times and noise and warmer homes. Customers love all this stuff, you know. Although they don't tell you that, they don't really want to hear your portable or your truck mount going, because they know that they have to have their carpets cleaned. They do. They seriously do think, you know, I wish it was a bit quieter or a bit warmer. I wish that door wasn't open. All these kind of things is what goes through the customers' minds. Well, it does my customers, you know, and I kind of surveyed, I would say about 30, top high 20s to 30 regular customers of mine over like a 6 month to a 9 month period. And they all said that they preferred this style of cleaning because, wow, it delivers the same results, but all the things that I've just mentioned are major minuses, major pluses to them. So the minuses were the noise, the cold, worrying about the animals, that the door's open, even if you've got a sealer door, that kind of stuff. Once your machinery and all your bits and bobs are in, with this kind of work, it's just there for you to just chill out. Well guys, it has taken that leak out. Like I say, it was more lime scale than rust, and it is on obviously polypropylene tiles, so I did expect it to take it out, but still, you know, as an encapsulation solution, fantastic. And there's another 2 of those. So yes guys, the pads are soiled. Right then guys, let's give you the grand tour. So this is one of those lovely offices. It's come up absolutely amazing. Looks lovely. It's got good underlay as well, it feels fantastic. So yeah, that's come up real nice. And then obviously we've got this office that came up really well. Take you around the desk bits because everywhere has been done. And then we get out to this corridor, which leads on to this little bit down here. That's come up really bright. Looks really nice. Even went into there. Alright. So obviously this corridor has come up beautifully. It's come up lovely. This top landing here. What a difference. Oh my god. It's come up amazing. Let's get a light on here so you can see this bit. Can you remember that? I'll put a before and after picture on. Again, this office here, come up beautifully. This corridor is just like someone's been in and almost laid new tiles. It's absolutely lovely. Doors open at the moment, shall close up before I go. So it's been a good day's work, I'm not gonna lie. It's about 3:30 now. And like I say, I started at 8 o'clock. But look what's achievable, guys, you know? Look at that. That's the new office. Obviously came up lovely. And then this was just heavily soiled. All around the desk areas. Pulled all the chairs out as you do, gone under the desks. So everywhere is going to be the same, deep cleaned. There may be a little bit of wear on the tiles. I thought there'd be a lot more, to be fair. Don't think these tiles are that old. I don't think any of the carpeting is that old, to be fair. They must have had it done within the last, I'd say, 10 years, because it was just soiling, you know. I always try and manage expectations when it comes to carpet cleaning, especially, you know, commercial carpet cleaning where the carpet tiles could have been down a long time. I don't think the camera does it justice again, you know, all the way to that exit there. So I'm very happy, guys. I am very happy with Kraken. Plenty more commercial booked in for the future. If you don't do commercial, and you was obviously wanting to get into it, and you were scoping for price, you will hear up and down the country in the UK, it can go from £1.50 to about £4.50 a square metre, depending on, you know, what you can deliver, how, you know, your worth and everything else. But a job this size, I wouldn't say you was too far away at about £1,000 or thereabouts. Obviously, some people are going to be more than that. I'm not saying that's what I charge. Some people will be less than that. But I would say if you was knocking around the bag of sand kind of mark, you wouldn't be too far off it. So till next time, guys, look after each other, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.